nakaligtas sa Pilipinas sa dagdag taripa ng Amerika sa mga inaangkat nilang produkto.
For the last 1 month, sobrang dami na disappoint.
His rampant tariffs are a wrecking ball aimed squarely at working-class Americans and the small businesses that keep this country running.
Natalo, na-liquidate dahil sa mga ginawang tariff wars ni Donald Trump.
We will impose a 25% tariff on all foreign-made automobiles.
And a lot of people are expecting a recession because of this. Yan ang ingay ngayon sa mga financial community. Pero habang lahat nagpapanik, ikaw ba? Bilang crypto investor, anong gagawin mo? If you've been watching my videos, you already know we don't react with fear. We move with strategy. Today, I'm breaking down kung bakit bumabagsak ang market, anong role ni Trump, at bakit para sa mga Web3 investors, this might be just the perfect time to position. Hindi basta-basta nagka-crash ang market. Lagi itong may cause or dahilan. And right now, lahat ng signs points out to 3 major triggers. Trigger 1, the trade war or what we call tariff wars that is happening and super viral right now.
European Union, they're very tough. Vietnam, Taiwan, Japan.
The U.S. has increased tariffs on China to 245%.
These tariff negotiations will inevitably result in an orgy of corruption.
Trigger 2, the conflicts about NATO and the global tension it brings. Trigger 3, the secret plan of Donald Trump. Pero bakit mo to kailangan kung crypto lang naman tayo? Simple, traditional markets ang mood setter ng buong financial world. Kapag nagkakaroon ng chaos sa stocks, automatically nadadamay ang crypto. Pero kung alam mo ang mga nangyayari behind the scenes, makakagalaw at makakapag-take action ka with confidence. Let's talk about trigger 1, the trade war or what we call tariff war. So ito na nga yung mga nangyari. Donald Trump introduced new tariff which caused the trade wars. Canada retaliated because of this. Anong resulta? Tumaas yung presyo ng mga goods, mga basic na pambilihin, energy, and even mga raw materials. At kapag lahat ng bagay ay nagmamahal or tumataas ang presyo, boom, nagkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag nating inflation. Pero teka, Kuya James, ano ba yung tariff na yan? At paano ito nauuwi sa tinatawag nating inflation? So imagine mo na lang, bumili ka ng milk tea worth 100 pesos. Pero let's say for example, bigla yung mayor ng city mo, nagpataw ng extra 30 pesos na tax sa lahat ng mga milk tea na galing Taiwan or imported. So ngayon, ang babayaran mo, simple lang, instead of 100 pesos, 130 pesos na. Ang tanong, sino nagbayad ng dagdag? Ikaw. And that's what we call a tariff. Extra tax siya ng mga pinapataw ng gobyerno sa mga produkto na galing po sa ibang bansa. Kapag ganito ang nangyari across the board, ang tawag po dyan is inflation. Yung 1,000 pesos mo dati na kasya for 1 week, ngayon mapapansin mo parang 4 to 5 days na lang. Inflation means basically pagtaas ng mga bilihin, but here where it gets interesting. Inflation is basically fiat's enemy. Pag sinabi po nating fiat, ito po yung traditional na pera na ginagamit natin katulad ng peso. Pero para sa mga crypto investors, this is actually an opportunity. Remember, kung napanood mo yung video natin na What is Crypto? Bitcoin was born after the 2008 global financial crisis. It was created as a solution to exactly a very similar problem na nangyayari po right now. Yung mga gobyerno na pwedeng basta-basta magpatong na lang ng tax, magprint ng pera, and at the end of the day, tayo ang laging natatamaan. Pero kay Bitcoin, limited lang ang supply. Meron lang siyang 21 supply forever na hindi pwedeng mabago. It's also decentralized, meaning walang gobyerno ang may control sa mundo na to. It's also transparent, open source siya, at hindi mo siya pwedeng dayain. Kaya habang nagpapanik ang traditional finance markets, crypto investors are watching and preparing. Because every time traditional financial systems experience this kind of problems, Bitcoin most likely will shine. Okay, next tayo. Trigger 2, global instability, specifically with NATO that cause global tensions. So ito na nangyari. Sabi ni Trump, bakit kami ang laging gumagastos para protektahan ng ibang bansa? Dapat nagbabayad or nagpa-participate din sila. Sounds fair nga naman, di ba? Pero may malaking problema dyan. Para sa mga beginners, NATO is a military alliance para tong barkadahan ng mga western countries. Kung may umatake sa isa sa mga ka-alliance nito o kakampi nito, lahat sila lalaban pabalik. So imagine this, for example, sa isang barangay, meron pong alliance o merong samahan. Kapag merong nanakit sa isa sa kasama natin, sama-sama tayo. Ngayon, biglang si Trump, na leader ng pinakamataas na grupo, nagsabi, alis muna ako ha, ang gastos kasi eh. Anong mararamdaman ng mga ibang bansa o yung mga kasama niya dito sa grupo na to? Technically, matatakot sila. Ano mangyayari sa balance ng power? Magugulo. And guess what happens when the world gets shaky? Markets panic. Lahat ng investor, whether stock or crypto, always hate what we call uncertainty. Parang sa crypto, kapag may mga bad news o pag may scandal yung mga founders ng mga malalaking projects, kahit solid pa yung project guys, bumabagsak yan agad. Ganun din ang global economy. Kapag may conflict, may mga war o kahit hint ng instability, investor pull out fast and eventually magkakaroon ng tinatawag nating recession. Pero teka, Kuya James, ano nga ba yung tinatawag nating recession? In simple terms, recession is equals paghina po ng tinatawag nating ekonomiya. Bumababa ang kita ng mga businesses, nagtitipid ang mga tao, nagsasara yung mga kumpanya, maraming nawawalan ng mga trabaho, everything technically slows down. Now here's the part that most people don't see. Big institution knows this. In fact, minsan sila pa nga nagpapakalat ng tinatawag nating fear. Kapag may global conflict, war, or kahit anong instability, hindi lang basta nagpo-pull out ang mga retail investors, pinapalabas sila. Bakit? Kasi kung titignan mo during, for example, let's say tariff wars, which is nangyayari right now, some of the biggest financial giants like JP Morgan, BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, sabay-sabay sila nagsasabi, recession is coming. Sa unang tingin mo, parang tinutulungan ka nila, di ba? Pero kung matagal ka na sa mundo ng crypto and investing, alam mo kung paano gumagana to. And when they say recession is coming, they know people will panic sell, and that's when they start buying. They accumulate when prices are cheap because they are the one who created this dip. Guys, hindi lang ito basta theory. This is really how the game works. The news says, sell now, while institutions, yung mga malaking kumpanya, sinasabi nila sa inyo guys, thanks for the discount. So if napansin mo na to dati pa, you already know these narratives, they are not for them, they're for you. Para mag-react ka and para magbenta ka. Kaya next time you hear this kind of headlines na sinasabi na, recession, check the charts, not your emotions. Baka hindi yan yung crash na sinasabi nila. Baka yan ay isa sa mga senyales ng bottom. So to recap, when Trump questions NATO, the world becomes unsure. Investors lose confidence. Traditional systems looks weak. But crypto will always look stronger than ever. Kasi habang sila busy on manipulating you, Web3 will always be building. And if you're paying attention, this is when you actually should start the right of what we call positioning. Okay, eto na yung pinaka-wild na theory sa tatlo. Trigger 3. Trump might be crashing the market on purpose. Sounds crazy, right? Pero ito yung sinasabi ng mga ilang expert at economists. Trumps want the market to bleed para mapilitang magbaba ng interest rates yung tinatawag nating Federal Reserve. Pero bakit niya nga ba ginugusto ito mangyari? Ganito lang yung kasimple. Once na mataas ang interest rates ng Fed, mahihirapan umutang ang mga businesses. Mahihirapan din umutang ang mga tao. Babagsak ang consumer spending, bumabagal ang economy. Parang sa crypto, kapag sobrang taas ng gas fees pansin mo sa isang network like for example Ethereum, marami nagdadalawang isip kung itutuloy pa ba niya yung transaction o hihintayin na lang niyang bumaba muna yung gas fees. Same thing sa traditional markets. Higher rates will always equals to slower economy. And Donald Trump, ayaw niya ng mabagal na economy. Ayaw niya bumagsak yung growth ng bansa niya, kaya gusto niya ibaba o gumawa ng paraan para bumagsak ang interest rates. Imagine mo na to for example, meron kang utang sa credit card na 100,000 pesos. Ang interest rate niya per year is 10%. So basically, every year, kailangan mo magbayad ng extra 10,000 pesos for the interest. Ngayon, let's say for example, binaba na lang ng 3% yung interest rate per year ng bangko mo. From 10,000 pesos na binabayad mo every year, magiging 3,000 pesos na lang ibabayad mo. Ibig sabihin, 7,000 pesos masasave mo every year, which is ang laki, di ba? Now imagine, ang utang ng US government guys ay tumataginting na $36.5 trillion. And once na binaba nila ang interest rates, they will actually save billions and even trillions. Paano ito mangyayari? Once na bumagsak ang interest rates onwards, they will use the extra money that they save para makapagbayad ng utang na mas mabilis. That's why people believe that Donald Trump might be crashing the market intentionally through tariffs and trade war, just to basically achieve yung tinatawag nga nating interest rates. Let's be real, Donald Trump actually can really end this anytime if gugustuhin niya. We're not talking about slow policy debate. We're talking about one man who knows how to move markets with just one sentence. Isang press conference, isang tweet, isang announcement na ready na siyang makapag-ayos guys. Boom! Global confidence will shoot back up. Kasi ang totoo, this whole trade war, it's not about destroying economies. It's about what we call leverage. And if there's one thing we know about Donald Trump guys, he's a deal maker, and at the end of the day, negosyante po yan. He knows when to push and he knows when to pull back. And most importantly, he knows how to get what he wants. Right now, he's putting pressure on countries like China. He's forcing them to the table. But once he gets what he wants, he'll pivot fast. And that's Trump's playbook: shock the system, force a reaction, then negotiate with strength. Kumbaga sa Tagalog, ito yung tinatawag nating sindakan lang. Actually, signs are already showing that his plan is actually working. Ginulat niya ang system, and now, lumalapit na yung mga bansa sa US para makapag-ayos. Europe, Canada, Japan, Vietnam, Taiwan, name it. Over 75 countries na ang nagsabing handa sila makapag-negotiate sa US sector. Pero guess who's still holding out, guys? Wala na pong iba kundi China. Pero hanggang kailan to? Majority ng export nila, US ang bumibili. And some of the economists say this trade war could cost China 2.4% of their GDP. This is equating to approximately $468 billion in economic loss. This projection is based on China's nominal GDP of around $19.5 trillion this 2025. Kaya ngayon pa lang, nag-a-adjust na sila. Intentionally lang binababa ang value ng yuan, which is actually yung mismong pera ng China. Ibig sabihin, ginagawa nilang mas mura ang halaga ng pera nila compared sa dollar. Pero bakit nila ito ginagawa? This is basically para mas maging attractive ang mga produkto nila compared sa ibang bansa. And alam mo ba guys, just to tell you na this is the lowest value and lowest rate of yuan since 2007. They are already feeling the heat, and realistically guys, wala tong magiging ibang ending guys kundi negotiation to at the end of the day. Now imaginein mo to, Amazon sellers from China nagtaas ng presyo. Yung iba umalis na sa US market. Tapos biglang si Trump nag-announce siya ng deal. Yung Fed binaba na yung interest rates, and basically nag-stabilize na yung global trade. Ano mangyayari sa susunod? Confidence will automatically and organically return, money will eventually flow back in the market, and risk appetite of investor will automatically also rise. And saan mapupunta ang first wave ng mga liquidity na to? I believe it's gonna be in crypto. Kaya ako, honestly, hindi ako natatakot. Personally, sa tingin ko, I don't think that this is the end of the 2025 bull run. Probably nadedeli lang tayo kasi isipin mo, what if si Donald Trump biglang magbago yung tono niya kinabukasan, which is nangyayari na every now and then? What if biglang nagkaroon ng progress sa deal nila with China? Expect Bitcoin to move. And when Bitcoin move, altcoins will eventually explode. Some analysts are even predicting and calling for a $200,000 BTC price by 2026. And honestly, that's not a wild guess. That is actually, I think, where the trend is pointing. But always remember guys, na all of this that I'm mentioning in front of you is not a financial advice. At the end of the day, ikaw pa rin na magde-decide para sa sarili mong kapital. May kasabihan guys, the biggest profits in crypto are actually not made during bull runs. They are actually made by those who position before the bull run. So habang lahat nakatutok at naapektuhan guys ng mga balita at mga headlines, nagtitake profit, nagka-cut loss, tinatanggap yung pagkatalo, takot bumili kahit bagsak ang presyo. Ikaw bilang isang Web3 investor or crypto investor, when the reversal arrives, the next leg of bull market guys will not wait. Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful, sabi nga ni Warren Buffett. So again, let's break it down. Trump doesn't like high interest rates. He is intentionally crashing and manipulating the market based on his interests. Fed is getting pressured already, and probably magkakat at magbababa sila ng interest rates. Global financial liquidity is probably coming back. Crypto economy will eventually get a boost. So now that we have covered the three big triggers, trigger 1, trade wars, tariff war, ang magiging resulta lang nito guys is inflation. And once na may inflation, that is actually where crypto always win. Because bakit? Crypto at the end of the day is what we call deflationary. Trigger 2, global instability because of NATO and global tension, which will lead to more demand for decentralization. Trigger 3, once na bumagsak ang interest rate guys ng Fed, mas maraming pera ang papasok as liquidity sa mundo ng financial systems and even crypto. Lahat ng yan, clues, signals, opportunities, and yes, I acted on those signals. Noong nakita ko yung reaction ng market, I knew right away, this is not the end. It was a buy signal. So I went all in sa direction na pinaniniwalaan ko. I took long positions, pinapakita ko to sa loob ng community natin. Always remember that this is not a financial advice. Hindi to basta hula. I saw the charts, I drew the support and I trusted my technical analysis. Technically, we were bouncing off in a very strong support right now. Historically guys, ganito talaga ang nangyayari based on my experience before magkaroon ng bagong pump. And based experience ko guys, way back 2016 sa mundo ng crypto, the risk to reward ratio during this kind of situation is always worth it. Tama ba ako? Yes, I made solid gains way back before and even sinishare ko siya publicly. May mga losses din ako syempre, pero overall, it paid off. Kasi hindi ako nag-invest based sa hype. I invested based sa conviction, data, risk and reward ratio, and of course, experience. Kaya kung gusto mo makita kung paano ko ginagawa yun with full transparency, I suggest guys, join James 3.0 community, link in the description below. Always remember, scared money will not make you money. Kung takot ka gumalaw sa market, probably maiiwan ka talaga. Take advantage of market volatility. Hindi ito kalaban guys. This is actually an opportunity. Pero always remember guys, take action based on data, not your emotions. Hindi lang dahil may bagong coin na nag-trending, bibili ka agad at sasakay ka sa hype. Create a plan. Set a goal and follow it along the way. Hindi po tama at walang strategy sa crypto and even to follow me blindly. Alam mo dapat kung kailan ka bibili, kailan ka mag-hold, and of course, kailan ka mag-take profit. And most importantly, do not buy a token that you don't understand or naririnig mo lang or basta binili lang ng kaibigan mo kaya mo siya bibilin. Kung sakali na beginner ka nanonood right now at hindi ka pa marunong mag-research sa mundo ng crypto, meron akong video na ginawa para dito. Panoorin mo sa YouTube channel natin yung How to Start Crypto and I guarantee you na after mo panood yung video na yan guys, makakapagsimula ka na ng tama sa mundo ng crypto. Para sa mga newbies or confident traders, if you're new to crypto, it's only best to focus on the blue chips. Ito yung mga Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Sui, and etc. Ito yung mga subok, malalaki at trusted coins na. And this is hard to be manipulated because it has the deep fundamentals. Pero kung alam mo sa sarili mo na meron ka ng experience at meron ka ng confidence, pwede mong i-divide ang capital mo. Pwede kang maglagay ng onte sa blue chips or dun sa mga aspiring projects, depende sa trend. For example, right now as of shooting this video, AI ang trend. And maybe even mga meme coins which imposes high risk but high rewards. Pero kahit anong strategy ang pipiliin mo, do not invest what you can afford to lose. Gusto ko lang sabihin sa inyo guys, before we end this video, crypto is not easy money. Which is ito yung pinaniniwalaan ng karamihan sa labas o yung perception ng mga taong walang alam sa crypto. Crypto is smart money. For a safer crypto journey guys, I suggest you can join our community. Free po yan. We have 24/7 moderators guys na willing pong sumuporta sa inyo. I always believe 2 minds is better than 1 and 3 is better than 2. Mas maganda pa rin na meron kang kasama sa mundo na to, lalo na especially kung nagsisimula ka pa lang. So again, kung wala pang crypto community guys, link in the description below, join James 3.0 community. This is your time to move smart, not fast. Like, subscribe, and share mo to sa mga friends mo na mga alam mo mga FOMO buyer. See you in the next video. Let's go!